Oh.
Are we live now?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Surprise.
We're
together.
Yay.
And we didn't even tell y'all. And I'm bald.
Oh, that's the big surprise. That's the bigger surprise. Someone has done the big chop.
How you feeling, sis?
Yeah, how you feeling?
Give me 1 second so I can share this.
Turn off my Wi-Fi.
And then I will turn off my Wi-Fi and silence my phone. Oh, look at us right here.
Yeah, it always pops up first.
So we got the big chop. You gonna tell us
the big
about
chop, but like not because like I'm going natural. I think that's already natural. Like people, the big chop is
big chop is to take off processed hair.
Exactly. I was already natural and loving my hair, but so quick little backstory. In December, I just had the thought that I should cut my hair, and I was like sitting on the couch like this, like, nah, that's an intrusive thought. And then it was like, and then I repeated, and I was like, still an intrusive thought. So then I go on TikTok, and the first video I see is this lady walking to the camera with the plant, and then she cuts it at the root, and then she turns around and says, but it always grows back. And I said, so
it was talking to you.
It was talking to me, and then eventually I just did some reflecting and some divination and was able to confirm that that is what needed to happen. So,
hey
sis.
Hey. So then I committed to cutting my hair, which we did talk about in an episode.
We did. So you did preview
I
it.
previewed it, and then I set the appointment, and originally supposed to happen in Beaufort, but it happened in Charlotte today, as it was supposed to.
Today.
And I cut my hair 5 hours ago. So
fresh and new. Yeah, get into the curls. Yeah.
You see it?
Bald head, scallywag.
Too much. So
right.
Did you not know that? This is the way.
Yes. So are we ready to begin? Are we ready to?
Are we ready to begin?
Start.
Okay.
Akai's gonna bring us in with the.
Bring it in.
And welcome back to another episode of
the Silver Cocoon Podcast
with your hosts Ife,
Kaya,
and Maya.
All right. So today, just heads up, we are not going to go for the full hour and a half.
Thank you.
We are going to do a shorter segment. It has been a very, very full 2 weeks, especially the past few days. And we're still in our episode is about the equinox and, releasing and letting go of things and then the birth of new things. And we are like smack dab in the middle of all of that beautiful energy. So we're going to keep it short, sweet, and simple. We're going to get straight to the point with some heavy hitters on this and then bid everyone farewell until the next
season.
Yes.
Because this is our season finale of season 2. So season 1, 6 episodes. This is the 6th episode. We're all together for the first time ever. And we have some really, really special stuff in store for season 3. But you're going to have to wait to find out. But anyways, so actually it's crazy. We're actually ending a cycle today.
Yes, we are. We're ending this. There's some old stuff.
Yeah.
The Silver Cocoon Podcast is
some old stuff
and some old stuff and into some new. Hey sis, hey Joby.
Okay, so today's episode is called Equinox Unveiled, Breaking Cycles, Birthing Truth. And so basically, we are going to be getting into all things. Spring Equinox is the one that we're referring to, for those that don't know. That's what we're referring to. And so there comes a moment in every cycle when the old can no longer hold us. It's a final shedding.
What is going on?
A last confrontation with the patterns that keeps us small. The ego prison that dims our light. The spring equinox is that threshold. It's nature's reminder that we are meant to bloom, to create, to step fully into the life that calls us.
Okay.
What
preach.
does authentic living look like when we stop carrying what no longer belongs to us?
Mm-hmm.
How do we create from a place of truth rather than survival? This episode today is a deep dive into releasing the last remnants of limitation and planting seeds for the future we're ready to claim.
Ashe. All righty. Okay, let's go. We mentioned earlier about the past couple of weeks being extremely full, and there's been some personal transitions and celebrations and just so much activity. So I really want to take a second to celebrate my girls and celebrate all of us in this moment. And starting with Kaya, putting together an amazing birthday video for Maya.
I can hug you in real life now that we're together.
Kaya got together 40, how many videos?
45.
45 videos from 45 different people. And it was all a secret, a surprise to Maya for her birthday. And so you know what that's like, trying to get 10
people.
And my people are not, let's say that my people are all very free spirited, very always
very
doing
busy,
something, very busy. Very much, yeah. I did feel very, very loved. That was all the like affirmation I need for the rest of my life. Like,
yeah.
And then it was a mixture of just people from literally way back to now. So
to people I met like months ago.
So yeah. Everybody. It was full of everyone.
Everyone that was in the video, that was supposed to be in the video, was in the video.
Yes. So I just want to acknowledge Kaya's, tenacity and her firmness. There are plenty of people in the video who was like, listen, Kaya wasn't playing. She's like, you need to get your video.
And the people that I talked to afterwards, that's the first thing they say, your sister?
Yeah.
On it, baby.
So she can, if you want to hire her for any planning events and things like that, group trips, this is the one who's gonna get.
She's gonna get people together because she's stern,
but also loving.
Yes.
Stern.
Hold on now. Don't just make it seem like I'm just stern and that's it.
No, you're loving in general.
You're loving, but the loving is not really in the coming. They just know that you're loving, period. So that's why the sternness is okay. But it doesn't really come across in the messages that way. The people that didn't know you, the people that did not know you were like, oh, your sister is intense. And I was like, yeah.
But I was still just like, thank you.
Of course. The fact that you wanted to do that anyway shows
you don't have to feel any type of way about it. You got 45 videos.
Be a boss.
Keep that energy. Keep it. Because listen.
But yeah, I was very proud of her for executing that. Like sometimes I'm actually very, very impressed. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
It was great. She put beyond. Anyways, yes. Thank you. Yes.
So then Maya was celebrating her birthday. She had a lot of personal celebrations, activities, and we went out to dinner. We did some wonderful future podcasting stuff. And then we celebrated our elder mother's birthday this weekend as well with she had a celebration on Penn Center Heritage Ancestral Grounds. And then I officiated her blessing at the Hunting Island State Park on the beach on Sunday.
Sunday morning at 7:00 in the morning.
Sunday morning at 7:00. And so we've been working, we've been moving, we've been celebrating, and it's been a lot of and I really love the fact that because a few days prior to that, the girls and I were out glammed up.
Glam to the T. I'm talking like walking in, everyone is like, where are you guys going? What's the occasion?
And then a few days later, we're on the beach in all whites in ceremony and fully participating in both of those in a moment of, just a matter of a few days. So this is why I got my cocoon with my girls. Cause we it's
really a cocoon. And so
we get to the business. we get it done.
Yes.
Every time.
Every time. So just
In
just wanted to-
situation.
Yeah, and I'm happy that we were able to bring in the spring equinox together this year.
Yeah, we did.
We were together
We
when
were,
the spring
always.
equinox
We
came up.
weren't.
Yeah, we were. Well, not that one day. We were together right before and right after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because spring equinox is on the 20th. So, it's not too late to begin honoring it because this is really nature's new year. The sun is out. The birds are chirping. The bunnies are hopping.
Wait, Consuelo says, I love how you two love on each other. It melts my heart. It melts my heart too. It really does to just know that they have the bond that they have. And I know that I don't know everything. I know that there are things that they share that they're not going to share with me. And I'm so grateful they have each other, that they're comfortable.
Honestly,
No.
you
Y'all
probably
share
know
everything with me
more. You probably
No,
know
really?
more.
Yeah.
First of all,
She said that's
Maya gonna tell mama everything. She might tell her before she tell me. So it ain't definitely ain't that way with y'all.
No, there's really not really anything that we know about each other that you don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me feel special. That makes me feel good. I mean, but I feel like there was a period of time.
Probably. Yeah. Well, maybe when I was
yeah, when we
younger.
could have gotten in trouble for stuff.
Yeah.
But now that we can't get in trouble.
Now that they can't get in trouble, they just tell me everything.
But we do still have like our bond and our jokes and
You
our
do.
moments,
You
and
do.
we don't show that on the podcast because then we would need to change our labeling.
Okay, so let's jump into the topic at hand. Equinox in Unveiled, Breaking Cycles, Birthing Truth. I want to say birthing you really than birthing truth because there isn't one set standard for a truth. Hey sis, hey Teresa.
Hey.
Hello.
There isn't one set truth. The truth, you have to just focus on what is true to you. And that's extremely important going forward in this conversation about authenticity and getting grounded in what it is that is your signature vibration and being committed and devoting to that and not deviating from that. And not allowing other things to suppress that. So that will come up a few times as we delve into this topic. Why are you looking like that? Why you look like you got some tea, Maya?
Yeah, as you pick up your tea.
Right, as I pick up my tea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking about like how that relates to the equinox and how that relates to when there's something new. Because I feel like I feel like there's a reason why there's an equinox every year. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always, a spring equinox every year. Because I feel like from one spring equinox to another, there's more stuff that's gathered and more stuff that needs to be released. And then there's a new earth.
Cycles
so,
of nature.
There's a new earth every time. So there's a reason it's every year. Because you're picking up, like we're always picking up things that change who we are and then realizing, okay, what of this should stay and what of it should go.
Right.
What of this, you know what I'm saying? Which is why we grow. And
Right.
Which is, interesting, I guess. Yeah. And
I feel exactly what you're saying because you have the coming in from I flow with the rhythms of nature. So you come out of going into the winter solstice, which was really our released, dormant, hibernating phase.
That's why if I was like, girl, no, you cannot go be releasing and dormant.
Right. So the release, the dormant phase, and then we come into equinox where there is a focus on make sure whatever you need to let go in that solstice time that you clear house, you clean house, you commit to the other things, the remnants that need to be released so that you can be free to create and birth anew. One thing I want to say about us honoring our downtime. I used to fight that. That would come across for me every single winter. And I would feel the pressure of being productive, of doing, and would be struggling with this, I need to power down, versus I need to produce, or I might look like, I'm not being successful, or I'm not being lit, or I'm being lazy, or whatever the case may be. and then just connecting with the watching. The earth is my guru. I'm just gonna say that, hands down, the earth is my guru. So I just pay attention to the cycles of the earth and resonate with that. I'm like, I need this time. I'm not gonna fight against it. I need this time to power down, to go within, to be still, to let the things that need to percolate, and then come back, whenever it's time to do so. So just as a reminder to honor that space. I know capitalism doesn't really allow for that, but also know capitalism is aligned with a man-made system, not a nature-based system. So you want to balance the two if you need to, but take that time before spring.
Before spring solstice,
Equinox.
spring equinox,
Mhm.
spring before spring equinox. Yeah, because I always get really, 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 really reflective around my birthday, and I always journal. But I realize because my birthday falls on spring equinox, so naturally, it always feels like that because it's literally 2 days later. So it is a new year. It is a new year for me both times. So that's always been really great. So I keep that tradition, just reflecting. I feel like it's a good time to do reflecting. What do you guys,
You feel like it's a good time to do reflecting?
Yeah, reflecting on the past nature year. Like the things that we do on New Year's Eve. I feel like, and I was talking to a friend earlier, like on New Year's Eve, I'm still going through it, like
because you're still in the dark, you're in the winter.
Yeah, I'm in the winter
cycle. You're in the
stuff
dark
is
cycle.
Still going on, and I'm like, I don't feel like this cycle is complete yet to be reflecting and bringing in more things.
Absolutely.
Well, but then right when the sun starts to come out,
and that may be why it's difficult to stick to New Year's resolutions, because we're naturally not in our active state, and so we put all of this pressure on ourselves to do these things when we haven't even turned over yet. So the ground is still frozen and it's not thawed out yet. So
I feel like that part is really necessary to like that authenticity part. I feel like that's where that winter part comes in, because you should retreat and spend time with yourself. Like there's a reason it gets it doesn't get cold everywhere. Florida.
It got cold this year though.
Oh really?
It was cold everywhere.
Oh well, when it gets cold, you go inside. But like you were saying, like we all experience that, like the need to just power down and go in
a little bit, take some things off the radar or offline, so to speak.
And now I can plan that,
Exactly.
But I was just talking in therapy though about how it's important to remain steady through both. Like, when you do have that power down time and the lows, and then when you can feel it, the spring equinox coming and things start to like open and bloom again, it can get really exciting. But then that makes it more like this.
Yeah.
Instead of just
a gradual,
just
measured build.
A measured build. Even I don't even want to say it build up, because to me, it gets shaky. So maybe like I'm not going up. I need to stay like this. Whatever's happening can happen around me.
Right.
And I'm fully experiencing it, but it's just staying straight.
Yeah. So I'm hearing you say you just don't want to be overwhelmed.
I just don't want to be. I don't want to be excited about much, and I don't want to be, because I can get carried away in that. Okay. And I don't want to be depressed.
So your excitement can get a little unhinged, or can run away from you. So.
Yeah, we talked about this, and then that's what creates that.
The dips.
So I feel like in the winter, when I was going through things, I did a good job at staying level-headed.
You did.
And I didn't meet the energy where it was, even though that's where I was going through it.
Right.
So I'm remembering that now. Things are opening up, but that doesn't mean I need to energetically be like,
You're speaking real about that. That's truth, because there are some ancient teachings that talk about, even though you see the opening, you don't go rushing forward. You wait until you still have to be wise in your movements, and wait until it's appropriate to make a step, and not let the energy run you over. In the Odus, we talk about that with Ejiagbe. Like there's so much energy there. There's so much light that you need to still be wise, and you need to be measured in your movement, so that you don't get swept away by the ambition or the excitement of all the new beginnings. And as Yahweh is a new beginning will do. Like it's a spring equinox kind of.
That's interesting.
So it goes
Okay, full
together.
circle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do y'all feel? Like, what do you feel like is authentically you this new spring and equinox? Is that how I should ask that? Or do you want to?
I like the way you asked that, Kaya. What do you? Because Kaya been bossing. Kaya been bossing up.
Kaya been bossing the.
Yes. So tell us.
What's new, Miss Boss Lady, Miss CEO?
I don't know.
Look, are we making you shy?
Sit up and open your mouth.
Stop.
I'm just kidding. I'm just being funny.
All right, sister girl.
As I said, gotta not get carried away.
You saw that in real time.
You get carried away
bubbling
every
of
time.
excitement
Every time, honey.
for Maya.
Woo, every time, honey, it's okay.
Hey, Christy. How are you?
Hey.
Thank you for joining us.
What is authentically me?
What have you yeah, maybe Mom, you can word that better.
Yeah, I need y'all to.
So let me say what I've observed,
Okay.
right? Over this last year and this cycle, this winter cycle, which got really active for you because you made a move back to Charlotte,
Right.
but you had a plan. You planted seeds in the last
And you
solstice.
sowed.
And you had a plan. She moved to Louisiana with me for a bit. And her plan was to just, stack her money, blah, blah. She had already gotten the real estate license.
Well, no, I actually I passed
I
passed the test,
Mm-hmm.
but I still had to get the license. So that was also something that happened at the end of last year.
Right.
Was like actually having the physical license.
Right. Which costs a lot of money. You got to go through, orientations, and she had to find a mentor. And all of this was building herself to coming back to Charlotte, building up to coming back to Charlotte and that she doesn't even have employment. She works for herself, right? And she set all this up before she even left Charlotte and had a vision and stuck to the plan.
And yeah, when I got out here, honey, it was just nonstop. It was the plan. I was still trying to make money because I was in between. My other jobs hadn't started yet, or my
contracts.
My contracts hadn't started yet.
Can I tell the story about the lease? Like how surprising it was? Because I was like, you were like, yeah. Well, I was like, when's your moving? Like, when are you moving in? And you were like, oh, in 3 days. I said, did you sign the lease? You're like, no, not yet. I said, you could just move in the day after you sign the lease. Like, I didn't know that. And you did.
And she did.
That's
like,
rare.
It was like last day. It was like last
but
minute.
That's
it was
rare.
like 24
You're
hours.
typically not able to move in right after you sign the lease.
No, you're not.
The units are typically not ready just like that. You're like, oh, I said it's going to be ready. You said, it says it's available. I said, oh.
Kaya has a natural way of applying. When I posted this episode, I said something, join us for a moment of unbending intent. Kaya has a very natural way that she does this unbending intent. If she has, and this is something we all want to cultivate, if you have an objective, you have a goal, regardless of where you're starting, everything that you are, whatever you're putting your energy to, it is to align with that objective. And you don't deviate, like you don't create another plan. And she would say that all the time, because I'm like, well, maybe you should have a plan B, or maybe you should have a backup. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm all about.
Honey, I don't like no backups.
And
that plan is that plan.
She would
I'm
not
gonna get it done.
She had an unbending intent. She said, "Is this?"
There was no backup, and that's what happened.
It's not this or nothing else. It's just this.
Mm-hmm.
There is no alternative. This is what it's going to be.
And that's what it is.
That's what it is.
And we're sitting in her apartment in Charlotte right now.
Right.
But I feel like this is like a perfect cycle for you. Like this new apartment is, even if you've never really had a chance to find out what is authentically you, to answer that question like that without thinking about it too much, like this is your chance. Like you get to decorate and feel like, hey, what is pulling to me? Like what type of, what type of music do I, like you really get to fill out your own space and fill out your own body.
That's true.
And really just, have that experience. And we found that when you were showing shower curtains, and I saw the kind that you like. I said, oh, this is a peek into your inner world. You know?
A shower curtain.
Well, yeah, what you said.
The design. No, I was okay.
Shall we show? Shall we show?
Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Now I wanted to go back to oh man, you made me lose that thought.
Thank you.
It was something about
Well, you can do that. I'm not good
To
at
show
that.
you
There's a
just
couple
click.
comments. Yeah, but I just don't,
I was saying.
okay, Lisa says, Teresa says, what you plant today, you will reap in 6 months.
Mhm.
What we do today, we'll see the results in 6 months. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love it. I love
So,
creation
yeah.
energy.
Yeah, we love creative energy.
So here's the thing that I wanted to say about releasing and then creating.
oh,
What?
the question about your
Authentic self.
authentic self?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. You want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want.
So there was a question on the table, and I was gonna move past it. And I was like, "No, ma'am." Blue says, "No, you didn't." She is so hilarious. So how I plant this swoop of removal in
Go
the
to
gym, baby.
ChatGPT. Go to ChatGPT. Tell
In
it
the
the
gym,
time that
baby.
you have free. Tell it the capacity you have for working out and the type of food that you eat, and it'll give you a plan for 6 months for pooper removal in the gym.
Yes. So authentic. What is this new authentic? So I'm gonna say that it is an expanded expression of my duality.
Mm-hmm.
My duality. I'm equal parts joy and destruction. And I have
We knew that, but
no, and I have been feeling out and experiencing and learning how to exist in that duality. And even I just was having some flashback moments about in my earlier days in my 20s coming into the community of, enlightenment and being shamed for my more boisterous or my more aggressive and warrior nature. And it was usually by those who wanted to play in my face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So or wanted to play in people's faces. So they would, hey, Andre.
Hey.
There was a lot of shaming around that, although there were some things that I did need to let go. So here's the thing about that. When you are going through your cleansing cycle and you look at some attributes or characteristics, you have to determine what things are going to go away that you need to release completely. What things are you keeping that need to be massaged? And what things need to stay that need to be elevated? So there was a bit of maturing.
I like that. I'm gonna put that in quotes.
There was a bit of maturing in my warrior side, and I did have to, find comfort and confidence in the balance of the two. These people tell you, "Oh, you're not evolved if you don't show up as all peace and smiles and warmth and hugs." And I love that. That is genuinely a part of who I am. And then, there's another side that, and both of those are divine. Number one, are divine. So I'm, expanding. I've been living like that, and I'm just really in the free space of seeing how that creates and just living in it more. I'm
being
more,
authentically you.
Yeah.
Being authentically you.
And I feel like that balance is necessary.
It's definitely necessary.
Absolutely. I know some people who are more on one side or the other, and that's natural for them, right? That's okay. That's totally fine.
So it must be difficult to really feel equal parts, though. So that must have been a difficult challenge in life to really
complicated.
Find that. But you did have a lot of oppositions in your astrology chart, so that's very valid.
It's complicated. It's like
inner tug of war, but you meet it in the middle. But you learn when.
And I really love getting to a space where whatever I can respond however I need to what is meeting me in that moment.
And she encourages us to do the same. If you ever get a text of us stating our boundaries, it's because our mother was in the living room with us like, yeah, and you need to say it like this.
What did they say? But then I also will back them up and be like, that wasn't kind. you know, that wasn't. Are you considering how the other person?
She will. No,
feels?
she wants us to be
She'll do
kind.
both sides,
She wants us to be
yeah.
kind, but just authentic. But she also brings us that like warrior style. I know I don't have it, but that like more
Yeah.
like warrior part to just like, you know, have that you instill that in us, do that. But I'm able to see that balance in you because we can also say how can I say this nicer, and you can tell us how to do that too.
Yeah, y'all
Absolutely.
definitely
You know,
To
help
be
me with
very
that.
diplomatic because you always have to look at the objective. What is the goal? What is the
Yeah.
goal here? Do you want to ignite things and burn it down?
That'd be my
No.
goal. That's usually my
Yes.
goal. Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Yes. That's the
And
goal.
But then you don't see beyond that.
No, I don't. And then after I
Wisdom
go
is-
the other way, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I didn't burn this down.
Right. Because you got to see beyond.
Yeah.
Like, because if you burn it down, how long does it take to grow back? And so, is that what you want to do? Like, you have to see
typically
beyond.
I'm not really
You don't
concerned
care.
about that now.
Right. Then after it's burnt down, then you're like, oh snap.
You walk away from the
Sometimes.
and you just leave. You just leave the
Sometimes.
rest.
Yeah. Maybe that hasn't happened yet.
So, but what I'm also teaching them is bless their hearts. So, and she says, you bless their hearts. Absolutely, Ashe. And who said that one time we were in a group, a class that was teaching, and someone was saying that they had gotten to the point where they would possibly be in conflict or whatever with people, and they would just say, bless them or bless you, and just release it and just, you know, bless the situation.
When you do that, it actually feels good. When you can move past I've worked on, I know this is a little off topic, but when you can move past that like personal part and just go straight to praying for somebody and blessing them, it feels so powerful and it feels so light. And I need to remember to do that more often, but you just have to want to push through
You bring up a very good point.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we want to burn things up, we're operating from our triggers.
Oh yeah,
and we'd be personal, personalizing it, which also means it's coming from a place of self-importance.
That just that just helped me realize kind of my answer to that question that I didn't really know till just now. So I feel like authentically me is that mother archetype, which is the one that cares and wants to help, right? So the part of me that gets triggered and wants to burn it down, that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to come from like how I would with my child. I have to see people as if this was my child.
Well, but there's another side to the mother.
There
the
is
mother
another
just
side.
Doesn't care.
I have to learn that though. I'm not there yet. I'm just
the mother just doesn't care because there are, look, we're all nature. Some people may overstep and take advantage of that. And you've got to, And here's the thing, we do our assessments at the beginning, right? So that when you see a thing that's a little off-centered or someone, you can feel that the energy is getting a little shaky.
You have to check it there.
Check it right there.
Yeah,
check it in that moment. That way you're not internalizing and building up rage.
But that's how I know I've internalized and built up rage in certain situations, because my first instinct when someone is mean to me is to care for them and to pray for them. That's my first instinct. Remember when that lady cussed me out? And I'm just like, oh, bless her heart. She must not be feeling good. Something must be going on in her life.
Right. And that's a superpower. That's a superpower, right?
No, genuinely, I'm like, to be so mad at someone that you don't even
and you know. It wasn't personal.
Yeah.
You
And
know
I'm
it
like,
wasn't personal.
not at all.
Yeah.
But when I'm triggered and I take it personally, that gets in the way of that. But like you said, it's because I've allowed things to kind of build up. So anyways, thanks.
You're welcome. So in the context of Equinox releasing, creating, what is that?
So in the context of Equinox and releasing, creating, it is releasing my triggers and releasing taking things personally and my self-importance. I've been releasing my self-importance really a lot, clearly.
That's it.
I released today, okay? But when I released my hair, I felt like I'd already released it. Like it just felt like it was already gone. So I was like, okay, it's already gone. But I feel like self-importance went with that. Let's make a distinction.
Self-importance and confidence are two different things, and self-assuredness.
But ego, we talked about the ego trap.
Right. So self-importance and self-assuredness are two different things. The self-importance is a desire to prove or a need to prove.
And thinking that people care about what you got going on more than they do.
Yeah, but it also comes from a need for the validation, need for it is looking outside for that validation.
That
and
video
that-
she gave me
yeah.
healed my self-importance. I said, I don't need any more validation. I'm good.
Oh.
I don't care what nobody else says. These 45 people love me.
Aw.
Yeah, no.
So Jamila says the release in this season can be heavy.
Has been heavy.
Has been heavy. Mama, listen. Heavy. And even so, what's interesting is that you will experience two things at the same time. This beauty, this heightened beauty and intensity of the wonderment and the release at the same time. And you're, trying to manage those things equally. Woo, and you can feel the energy resonating or you're just feeling the pull and the push and the purge in your body. And it can be heavy. And you just, I'm like, I love that kind of stuff. So you just center and you just ground and do what you got to do.
Yeah, so that's it. That answers the question. Yeah.
You just ground and do what you
That's
got to
what
do.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you segueing into before we circle back?
I'm a very practical, I don't know. I don't even like using the word spiritualist anymore. Just practical.
Okay, just because other people are making the word mean something else doesn't mean that.
No,
you aren't
like
what you are.
seriously, I've gotten to this place where these typecasting and these. Jamila says, hold on. Yep, imagine me over here in tears every day with 3 kids looking at me like I'm crazy. And then you know what? They will also remember those moments and be like, it's okay for me to be over here crying, looking crazy when they got to cycle through their stuff too. So, what was I saying?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because I sure forgot to.
We were talking, being practical about it.
Mhm.
So you want to have somewhere to go. You want to have something, because you're feeling this stuff. I need to release something. I need to change something. I want to change. I want to change. I want to change. And then you jump right into some methodology or some practice or technique without first identifying what your objective is. Like, what is the intent? What is the thing that you want to create in your life, that you want to bring forward in your life, bring forward from you? What is it? First, identify that. Like, where are you going? And once you identify that, then you're going to do an assessment. Study and learn what it actually means to live like that, and not on TikTok. Okay. Go to some elders. Yes. Go to some shots fired, right? Go to some elders, respected elders. There are some books, meditation and prayer, like really resonate on the thing. If it's freedom, if you're looking for a sense of mental, emotional, financial freedom, if it's joy, to resonate in the vibration of joy, like I just want this to be a signature vibration in my life. If it's peace, I'm kind of lofty with it, so I start big and everything will align with that. Get an idea of what that really looks like, what it means to live like that, because a lot of times we're giving these program scripts of what it looks like to be a peaceful person, a kumbaya. Right? Or what it looks like to be joyful, and the person is just always smiling and always fun and always, that can be performative. When true peace, real joy, and freedom, it's centered inside of yourself. And no matter what you are choosing to do in any moment, you are at peace and at joy within it, as opposed to looking a certain way, right?
Ooh, that's
as opposed to looking a certain way. So, and I'm saying that because joy is one of the things that, equal parts joy and destruction. And whatever is in front of me, however I choose to respond to that, trust me, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm 100% at peace and in joy with whatever it is, from the highest to the lowest and the in between. I'm really enjoying leaning into the life in the moment. And it's beautiful and wonderful in that way. So if I have to, join someone in prayer or join someone in dancing or check somebody. I am at peace and enjoy every single one of those moments. Like I literally be laughing about what is happening in the moment. So it has to be a state of,
She said never bothered.
It has to be a state of being and not necessarily performative. You know what I'm saying? So you want to study what that looks like. Then you want to identify methods and techniques that, do your own personal assessment. What ways am I living and what am I doing that could potentially be in conflict with this focus that I have, with this intent that I have? Where are my triggers? Go deep dive into that. And look at these divas over here, just lip glossing it. And then find the techniques and the methods. And lastly, devote yourself. Unbending intent, repetition. Devote yourself, unbending intent. And I will tell you, I am living proof that if you follow that, you will have victory. You will be successful. There is no other alternative to success.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. She just gave some free game.
You be wanting a backup though. Huh? You be wanting a backup plan.
No, because she's a Capricorn.
No,
that's because she's a Capricorn.
Stuff. You're talking about practical things.
Right.
I'm talking about, and I'm always
she has no backup plan for freedom and joy.
No.
There's no backup plan for that.
There's no alternative. But I will, I'm going to, what is it?
Plan for you don't be playing about that either though.
What, backup plans?
No. Your peace.
Oh, my freedom and joy.
Yeah, you don't.
About that.
So y'all are kind of the same when it comes to that.
No, there's no alternative.
Yeah.
Y'all are the same.
No alternative.
But you have to study it and you have to feel it on the inside first. You can't really show that. You can't show it, but you can embody it. If you're trying to just show it, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's embodied, and it wasn't until I heard. Ooh.
Okay, wait, we got distracted. Go ahead.
It wasn't until I heard other people saying that that's what I looked like. I was experienced that I was like, oh, I think I've arrived here. They didn't know that I've been working on those words that I've been working on. Grace was one of them. I never. Somebody told me you're somebody that I don't even know was and I heard that 3 times in 1 week, and I said, okay, Grace, all right. Then someone said, okay, freedom,
coming back to you.
You look so at peace. Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. I'm embodying that now, and then you build on that.
Yeah.
And then, but every year it's not.
And let's say this real quick. I'll post. A brother friend of mine made a post yesterday, the day before, I don't remember, about when you call forward a certain thing, be prepared for the challenges in order to, elevate or evolve yourself into that vibration. And I don't want to use the word elevate and evolve. I want to stop using that because it makes us believe that we have to do better or be better, that we are inherently what that is. So a lot of the evolution process is really just letting go of stuff that we've picked up that has challenged the truth of what we are.
There's no destination.
The truth of what we are as luminous beings. Really, our default is all the wonderful stuff. So, or all whatever we want. So, and we've been given some propaganda that tells us that it's different. It tells us that we are sinners all the time, that we are lowly, that we are, whatever. And I'm like, the creating is wondrous. Would not create just some
BS.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So in saying that, if you're calling for freedom, I did that when I was in my early 20s. I was like, freedom is the thing that is my unbending intent.
Yeah, these are the seeds you're planting.
Right. The seeds I was planting was freedom. Baby.
Oh,
I had no
who was that?
I had no idea. I did not know what I was how that was going to take me through the ringer. I have loved every minute of it. Not gonna lie, but there have been some moments where I'm like, oh, this is what freedom is. Oh snap, the layers in human consciousness around what freedom really is.
Just to kind of, because I think people don't know what the post was saying. So the post was basically saying, like, if you plant a seed for something, you're not going to get that thing. You're going to get lessons or things in life are going to happen that build that in you.
That build it.
So if you ask for
bring
patience,
it forward,
that bring it forward
for
that bring it forward. That allow you to release the things that are holding you back from that. So
exactly,
because like you said, you're only like it's the seeds are growing in you. You just plant, like you said. I love that you said that because that's very important. You're not trying to reach for nothing. But anyways, so you ask for patience. I think that's what he said. When you ask for patience, you're not just gonna wake up one day and be patient.
And be a patient person. You're gonna go through the things that you need to go through to release the opposition to patience within you,
and whatever that may be. Everyone has their own deck of cards.
Yeah.
You play it how you play it.
Yeah. And you do it with joy. That's the other thing about it. Like they say to move through these transitions and these cycles and these challenges with happiness, with joy, like approach it in that way. Don't take everything so freaking seriously. And I know me saying that in the climate in which we are living right now would it seem to be counterintuitive, but it is not, because our joy is definitely a superpower. Our joy and our peace and our love definitely is the weapon.
It's the weapon,
right? It's the weapon. Because what opposition would want us to feel is anger, is depression, is sadness, so those things can eat off of that energy.
But those are healthy to feel and process, though.
No, they are.
Rightfully so.
They are.
But
you're right.
At the base of it, though, you return to joy.
I think, you know what? I want to go back to what you're saying, because you're right. We don't shame anger. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that either. Some stuff does. Just feel. But I think what I meant to say, or to say it better, is the depletion of our power.
There we go. Yeah.
The depletion of our power. So thank you for correcting that. The depletion of our power. Hey, Davina. Hey,
but yeah, sis. So that maybe that's what it is. Those feelings are very valid, but that's not what's going to win. That's not what's going to change the tide.
No.
It's not what's going to change the tide. You have to,
yes,
on the bigger, grander scheme of things.
You're right.
It'll help you win the wars, but the battles, but the war is strictly love. And
I don't want to say that either. It's because that we have to detach ourselves from the idealism of what love, you know what I'm saying? So when we talk about what is love, right? And we talk about wanting to see a harmonious environment for everyone, where everyone is free. You know what I'm saying? Love can look
what that looks like, though?
Love can look like something different.
Yeah.
That's what it means to love.
But you know what freedom is letting people be who they are.
Yeah. And so
not harming, obviously without harming, but just letting people be who they are and honoring that. But you have to know who you are first to be who you are. And then you have to not judge other people. So we'll talk about that one day.
Yeah.
Maybe soon.
So.
Okay. What, planting seeds, sowing, reaping.
Yeah, what are you planting now? Like you're actually you've planted some stuff. You're just still working your. Yeah,
what seeds have you planted? What do you think is coming up for you? Or what are you releasing to get to the root, what are you releasing to unearth those seeds or whatever? I don't know.
I guess so what am I trying to accomplish this year, basically?
No, not necessarily. Accomplish this year is kind of more.
That's the way she's going to look at it. So we'll start there.
Okay.
Yeah, she's very literal. Yeah, very literal. So what is her intent?
Okay, my intent.
That's what she wants to accomplish.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So my intent.
You're so serious.
Yes, she is.
She's so serious.
That's why she got them 45.
She said, "So what am I trying to accomplish?" Yes, yes, baby.
What is this? No Capricorn in her chart? It's mad.
There's Capricorn in everything's there, but I got to see what house.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
well, go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, we talked about this earlier today. Just being more, or yesterday, just being more, not open, but just just not procrastinating when it comes to things, or just not holding myself. I feel like I'm holding myself back from not broadcasting, but just expressing, showing my personality more, expressing myself more, more publicly.
Oh, see,
but so I guess the seeds that I would be planting for that, getting back to the seeds, right?
Yeah.
Getting back what?
To the seeds, would be what. I mean, I don't know. You just gotta.
So you just
gotta dive in first.
Be one of the things that would need to be released in that, like self-importance, like that, like so. Do you think the self-importance might be causing some of that social anxiety?
She's thinking too much.
It's definitely social
herself.
anxiety. Yeah, it's a lot of social anxiety
about it.
and
and about how it's going to be perceived.
That's self-importance. I had a huge issue with that. Me looking at being a perfectionist was all a part of the self-importance. I wanted to look like this, it has to be like this, that. And coming forward with the podcast before we had everything the way that I wanted it to be was to diminish that self-importance, to just get on there
and just do it.
And just do it.
And you can learn and perfect it as you go along.
As you go. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I have nothing to prove. We just have to be.
You have nothing to prove. And you definitely don't. That voice.
So we said coming into this, we wanted to talk about the breaking cycles. What was it?
Birthing true.
Baby, my caffeine. I had caffeine way earlier this morning. I am not all the way here, babes. That frappe did nothing for me. So.
And like you said, we've been in a lot of different spaces and creations and transitions. Yeah. And so, that's why we're going to keep it short and sweet, because there's been a lot of wonderful things going on. And we just need to allow ourselves to process, and be present with it. So as are we ready to close? We want to close? I just wanted to say, wrap up.
Are we? Okay.
No? What do y'all still want to say?
Well, nothing, but so I mean, okay, so we are grateful for everyone that joined us today.
Okay,
live.
Wait, let me say this. I like this. I like us being together.
Well,
all three of us in the same. Like, this felt good.
It did.
This feels more like us in the here and now and always. So we do. So again, as we close, take advantage of the season that we're in, in this moment, and whatever your intent is, be methodical about it, identify what the objective is, what the resonating energy that you want to bring forward, study it, learn it. Do your personal assessment, find your methods, your techniques, and then apply yourself. Commitment, devotion, unbending intent, apply yourself. There's no way ever that it's not going to produce results, period.
Yeah. And like you said, every seed that we're sowing is already in us. Like, we don't need to elevate to get to it. It's already there, and this is the perfect season for that. Like, the nature is on your side when it comes to planting seeds right now. So, let's get to digging, y'all.
Let's go.
So I think that concludes.
Hey,
our season 2.
Yeah, we're wrapping up a little early today, so we can just spend some time
together.
Yeah, this is gonna be our last. We've been together for the last 2 weeks? 2 weeks, almost today, something like that. So this
we've been together for a while.
But we are gonna have more podcasts with the three of us in the same space at the same time in the nearest future.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. This concludes our season 2.
We appreciate everybody. everybody.
And we
that
coming
has
back with some
supported.
different.
We're coming back.
Everybody that has
Hush.
shared, everybody that has commented, everybody that has
Yes.
viewed, everybody that has listened. We appreciate all the feedback on TikTok,
Yes.
all the opinions.
Yes.
We appreciate it all.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Deep
you.
gratitude.
Deep
Deep
gratitude.
gratitude.
Deep gratitude. We
Joining
love
and
this. We
sharing
love
and opening
y'all.
yourselves
Yeah.
to this experience with us.
Our next episode is not going to be what do you call it? Next Tuesday.
Not by yeah.
So instead of our next episode being on the 8th of April, it is going to be on the 15th of April. So we're coming back with season 3, April 15th. In the meantime, we have season 1 and 2 on YouTube. We have season 2 available for streaming on podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other streaming services. So, catch up on episodes you missed and stay tuned for our next season.
Thank you guys. We love you. And happy birthing, happy creating, happy releasing. Let that go.
Let it go.
So silly. Love you.
Love y'all. Bye.